Hello everybody, this is the Oski, and Star Wars X Fortnite Galactic Battle month-long season has just dropped today, and I've had the opportunity to play a couple hours, and I've gotten a couple wins, so I thought it'd be a great time for me to talk about my first impression, my thoughts on it, what's good, what's bad, what I have problems with, what I love, and so yeah, let's get right into it. First of all, something I always love with these collaboration or event-like seasons is the way the entire community just goes all in on the theming, and I really enjoy just seeing like half the people I'm fighting wearing Star Wars skins. And I just think that's a really cool part of this that wouldn't happen if we didn't get these collaboration seasons. So just be mindful of that. Overall, I think Fortnite does do a bit too many collabs, but I do appreciate when they make collabs that have purpose, like having gameplay with them. I think it's really cool that we can play something like Star Wars Battlefront in Fortnite. But anyway, we're going to start it off with the weapons because that's the most noticeable thing right now. There is no other weapons other than Star Wars blasters right now, which is really cool in my opinion. They removed all the previous Chapter 6 weapons. There's just Star Wars blasters and lightsabers. And I think that's a really great idea. It really helps immerse you in this like galactic battle feel that they're trying to go for right now. And yeah, it's great in my opinion. However, with that, there's only it kind of feels like there's not that many weapons because, for one, all of them look the same. So it's really hard to designate to your teammates, like, yo, I got this purple blah, 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 blah. You want to come pick it up? Because their names are also just really confusing and really long, and it's a bunch of random letters and numbers. So it's kind of hard to designate to your teammates what you have or what's on the ground. But anyway, it kind of feels like there's only a few weapons since all of them look the same. And it's just I feel like there's so much diversity. But yeah, some of them are really fun. The ACP scatter shotgun, it's kind of like the pump. It's really good. I've been really enjoying that. It's been my go-to shotgun. I think it's the CR. See, that's what I mean. Like the names are so hard, but there's this really short SMG, and it's really fun as well. It's really good. It's really spammy, and that's the thing you gotta keep in mind. All of these weapons have infinite ammo, so because of that, there's a really heavy spray meta right now, which I can already tell a lot of people are not going to like, especially build and competitive players. I'm a zero build player, so it's kind of the name of the game already. But anyway, and then finally, actually not finally, but my most favorite weapon that they added is the marksman rifle. I don't even know the name of it, but it's insane and super fun. It has a scope. It does a lot of damage for headshots and body shots, and it shoots pretty quickly. So yeah, it's a finally really good marksman rifle. I feel like most of them are bad. And there's also a mythic version that I think General Grievous sells. It's really busted. And somehow there's two of them. Me and my girlfriend both had mythic marksman rifles. So I don't necessarily know how that works. But yeah, it's really broken. Give it a try. And then another interesting thing is the implosion grenade. I think that's what it's called. It works super cool. I haven't actually used it on anybody, but I've seen some clips. And like you throw it, it does this explosion that like, pulls people in, I think. And then it actually explodes and pushes them out like a shockwave kind of and does a bunch of damage to them. So I think that's how it works at least. I definitely want to try it more. I just think it's a cool concept for a thing. So now let's talk about the lightsabers and like force abilities, etc. Because that's like a main draw of this season. Those are in the game. It's not just blasters. We do have lightsabers. But yeah, they kind of work the same. You can find them by finding those magic portals that we had in like chapter 4, I think it was, and then you go through them and then you train and then you come out with a lightsaber and a force ability. Of note though, at Darth Vader's Samurai Solitude or whatever it's called, I think the name is really confusing and really stupid. You can fight him and then go through his portal after you've fought him, and you get the, Darth Vader's lightsaber with the boomerang ability. And here's where I'm going to call Epic Games out. Why did we add the boomerang ability back? It sucked. It always has sucked. Nobody uses that ability. It doesn't do any damage, and it's super hard to hit. Instead, why didn't we give Darth Vader a force choke ability associated with his lightsaber? Like, come on, Epic Games. I'm literally giving you the best ideas ever. How did you not think of that? It's his main ability. I guarantee they just didn't want to change it because it would be extra work. But they should have after seeing how bad the first iteration of that Darth Vader lightsaber was. God dang. Anyway, force choke is something they need to add or change. I don't want to use a boomerang. But the boss fight for Darth Vader is actually really cool. He is the samurai version of himself, which I think is cool that they kept that from like the Japanese start to this chapter. And the way he jumps at you is really crazy and intimidating. He's kind of always done that, but it's just so fun fighting him because you're like, oh my god, he's jumped all the way across the POI. Lightsabers overall are still a little bit underpowered. I've had some cool kills, but I feel like they're always a little bit meh. I think the force powers not transferring to you when you kill someone is a little bit dumb. Basically what I mean is like if you kill somebody who has a force push ability, you don't automatically get it when you pick up their lightsaber. You'd have to train to get it. And I get the logic, like you have to train to get the abilities. You don't just automatically turn into a Jedi. But my thought process is like, how often are you going to be able to have those abilities if you don't get them when you kill somebody? That's just my thought process. They do kind of spawn frequently, and there's been many times where there's like 3 in the same area around me. So me and my girlfriend have both been able to get like force lightning, etc. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it won't be a problem. That was something I thought of. Lightsabers are kind of like the movement this season, but other than that, there really isn't a lot of movement as it stands. A few hours ago, they just enabled shockwaves back into the game, but before that, there was like no movement, and it was super terrible for Zero Biz especially. But now there is shockwaves. You know, you have the TIE fighters and the X-Wings, you have cars, you have the lightsaber. So there's a little bit of movement. Definitely needs to be one more item, I think, and maybe those jetpacks, the Mandalorian ones they're adding, could do it, and I think that could be like the next movement thing they'd add. Hopefully they're good. And then some abilities. So the only ones I've found in game so far is Force Push with Rey. I think that ability is kind of good. It's really useful in zero builds, like push people away from you, get them out in the open, so you can laser them, I guess. I haven't really used it too much, though, even back when it was already in the game in Chapter 4. And then Force Lightning is the Palpatine one, and I think that one's really cool from what I've used so far. I used that to win that game. So did my girlfriend. Apparently, it EMPs cars, so if you shoot a car with a Force Lightning, it stops it immediately. And also does hella damage against people as long as they're not blocking with lightsaber. And also, it just looks super cool. And so I'm really excited to like get that Darth Jar Jar skin in the item shop whenever it drops, and then use the Force Lightning as Darth Jar Jar. Just like, how wooed, from the trailer. I just love the Darth Jar Jar skin. I can't wait for it to come out. So now let's talk about one of the main attractions of this season, and that is the vehicles, the aerial combat with the X-Wing and TIE Fighter. Overall, that's the thing I was most excited for this season, and I gotta say, I am a little bit let down, okay? It is a little bit disappointing. They are really, really, really slow, okay? It looks like you're flying like a granny ship, and it's such a stark difference from the cinematic trailer, which obviously is, it's a cinematic trailer, it's not a gameplay trailer. But I just wish they'd be a little bit faster so it feels like you're actually flying a ship. Also, they have really low health, and with the infinite ammo this season, you just get shot out instantly. There's like nothing to deter people from shooting you out. They have infinite ammo. So I don't think they thought about that properly. I think they need to give them more health, at least like double their health, to be honest. They're kind of useless right now. They do really good damage when you can actually hit somebody. The problem is it's like impossible to even get off the ground because people just be lasering you. But yeah, I haven't really gotten to use one to actually fight somebody. I just have seen people play as them, and I've been beamed out of them. But yeah, I hope they fix that. I definitely think they need to do something to make them better. And now let's talk about the map. I really hate how new Fortnite seasons make old POIs obsolete, like the entire Lawless part, like with the Gold Rush. I like the fact, or no, I don't like this. For example, they removed all the vaults from Masked Meadows, Crime City, and Seaport City, which kind of just make them like a ghost town. Like, I do appreciate them spreading out the new Star Wars POIs, but why can't there be like one in the middle? Because nobody lands in any of the old POIs now, basically, because, I mean, they're not new. And all the Star Wars POIs are on the outside. So I don't know. The whole map is just weirdly distributed. But in Lawless, okay, they did it well about adding new POIs. They did have them all in the kind of the same area, which I didn't like. They should definitely spread out more. But they also added banks to the old POIs to incentivize people to still land there. I think something like that would have been nice this season. Something Star Wars themed in the old POIs to actually, like they could have just replaced the banks with like a Star Wars cantina in each or something like that. I don't know. And then finally, a few miscellaneous things. The new POIs do look really good visually. And they have some great designs. Like, I like the vents in the resistance base. You can like break them and you end up in like the ventilation shafts, and then you can break down again. I think that's a cool way to enter it. It doesn't look like an entrance, but it is. The first order base is also really intricate and honestly beautiful. In the interior, there's a lot of hallways and nooks and crannies, which is cool. And then I really like this season because there's always music playing. Like in the TIE Fighter, in an X-Wing, you have music playing. On the battle bus, when you start the game, there's music playing, and it's phenomenal. It just makes you feel so epic, and I think it's really cool. I even had a glitch that made it like continuously play throughout my entire match, which was kind of annoying, but also kind of epic. And then finally, the Battle Pass, I've already talked about it in a video, but it is indeed mid. I think the Wookiee skin has grown on me, actually, after seeing some gameplay. But overall, it just isn't like, there's not enough heavy hitters in the Battle Pass for me. Grievous is really carrying right now. Poe is okay. Palpatine is okay. But yeah, I think it could have been better if they had some more characters like Captain Rex or Darth Jar Jar. I really wish Darth Jar Jar was in the pass. I think he would have made the pass really good for me, because then it would be two really good characters, Grievous and Darth Jar Jar. But yeah, I just have really specific taste. I really like characters in armor. And so I just not the biggest fan of this pass, just based on the skins they have in it. But it's all right. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think about this season so far. Let me know if you've gotten to try it out. Let me know if you gotten the win. I did get the Death Star Wind Umbrella, which I think is actually a pretty cool design. Confused why they didn't go with the Cloud City obvious design there. Unless they already have that in the game. I know it's a back bling for Lando, but I think that should have been the glider. I guess this isn't really about that. It's more about the Death Star, so I guess it's fine. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about the season. Make sure to leave a like, consider subscribing. It's been Oski. Peace out.